Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about team comps, how to build one, what they are, what they do, different things about them. We're going to go in depth. This is more of an audio video. There's probably not going to be too much in the background, probably me just running around doing a couple of things on my my axe user, my carrying cooler, just to try and get him leveled up. Anyone who watched my last video will know that I'm still guarding the same 4.3 stags that I'm very excited about mining, about getting someone to skin, even though it's completely useless to me, basically. It's just shiny and glowy, so I need to have it. Anyway guys, we're going to be talking about team comps. So what is a team comp? Team comp stands for team composition. It is the setup of your team running in PvP, basically, in this game. Typically it's used for like wow, that was very distracting having the 4-3 here. It's going to be based around 5v5 stuff mostly. Like the GVGs and the Hellgate sort of situations. So I'm going to give a couple of examples for things that would make strong team comps, how to build them, what you're looking for. In them as well. So first things first, in a team comp you're looking for what is the general goal of the team. So I typically run with, I'm going to tell you my team comp that I run with. We run with no tank, a healer, typically 2 frontline DPS and 2 backline DPS. Our goal is to just put out so much pressure, outplay the heavy mace that every team has right now, and basically just put so much pressure on them that they die. But there is a very good counter to that, in that if the heavy mace outplays us, we lose. And that's quite a big thing. If the heavy mace, so we fought the other day and got a 3-man heavy mace silence onto us and we just lost the fight immediately. However, we fought the same team 2 or 3 Hellgates later, the heavy mace missed everyone and we just one-shot their team just melted. It just kind of is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Just that's our team comp, and it's based on us being quite skillful. A lot of teams at the moment are just trying different things, ready for like Hector, with Hector changes coming in, the balance changes coming in. My suggestions for team comps right now, with Hector coming up, aim to play with a support in your group. So I think the setup should be at the moment, I think every team needs an arcane in. And that sounds really weird to say that every team should have an arcane, oh my god, but I think every team should have an arcane. And then like a front line and a back line, and then a tank and a healer. I think that's got to be the most basic team composition setup ever. I would say more of a, if I had to give my recommendation for a healer, it would be holy with arcane, with some sort of backline, probably, I don't know, it's got to be high damage, something like a fire mage maybe, or a crossbow, that works. A frontline DPS like dual swords, Clarent blade, maybe daggers, maybe even carrion for the armor pierce, something like that, and then a tank. The tank can be tanky, or he can be like a stalker jacket hybrid tank type thing, that works as well. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be the most base sort of team comp. You then have things like just sort of all DPS or double healers. So we actually played the other day with double healer arcane, bloodletter curse, and that is the most fun I've had in Hellgates in a long time. We were one-shotting people when we got it right. When we got it wrong, we just lasted forever, and it was like really hard to kill us. We ended up losing. One of our biggest losses was to a double healing reduction team, and we just got melted through that. There's not really much we can do about it at that point, to be honest, but it was still fun to play. But yeah, so what do you want in a team comp? Well, I can't give you that answer, unfortunately. I can't give you any team comp that's going to go, this is going to be everything go, because otherwise it wouldn't be a balanced PvP game. What you have to look at is look at who you've got to play with, look at what they can use, and try to figure out what the best goal for you is in a fight. So let me give you an example. If we were to run Clarent Blade, Carrion Cooler, and Bloodletter, all with Stalker Jackets, a tank and a healer, what is our goal? Our goal is we're going to dive onto someone with the heavy mace silence, and we're going to blow someone up. It's explosive, it's burst, and you're running in to be quite tanky and just completely forget about tactics. You're just running in to do damage. If you're playing, for example, what I used to play, which is tank, fire, curse, Clarent, healer. So we had three squishies, a tank and a front line. We have to play back and we have to keep kiting, and our damage has kind of got to push us through. We've got to be able to just keep pressure up. We're not looking to insta-burst someone, we are looking to just keep pressure on their team and capitalise on their mistakes, sort of thing. A double healer team, 2 healers and then a couple of a squishy and 2 front lines. You're playing without a tank, so your goal is to do damage and outplay them. You're playing with 2 squishies but 2 healers, so you're kind of tanky. Again, you're just looking to put out a lot of pressure. You're looking at that point to capitalise on probably just a sustain fight, then be unable to kill you quick enough that your 2 healers mana works better than their 1 healer, and when they start getting low or they start not being able to rotate cooldowns, that's when they die. You need to think about all of this, about what is it that's going to make your team win. What are you looking for in a fight? And if what you're looking for in a fight is to burst someone, don't go and play with a great curse staff, because I'm not going to burst someone as a great curse staff. If what you're looking for is outstanding pressure, don't go and play with the dual daggers, because the whole point of dual daggers is that you're going to go in and pop someone or put a lot of damage into someone. You need to play to your team strengths. The only things I would say, as of next patch with Arcane being so strong, every team needs to be running, in my opinion, every strong team needs to be running some sort of cleanse, some sort of druid cowl, some sort of mana regain, whether that's Arcane using the mana regain abilities, or druid cowl, or some way to get mana back. A healer, obviously, because you're not going to win a fight with that healer. I would say tanks are a bit iffy. You probably don't need a tank to be successful. They're nice, but I don't think they're going to be necessary with a healer and a support. You're going to be probably looking for silences. Silences in this game at the moment are kind of what's winning and losing fights. If you use a silence right, you can carry a fight. If you screw up with a silence and it does nothing, you're going to hurt a fight in your own negativity. So you've kind of got to look at what they can do to you and play around that. What can other teams do to you? What are other people likely to be running, and how do you counter that? So I'm going to use Umbral as an example. Umbral run typically with 2 druid helmets and a heavy mace silence. That is somewhere close to, if they were to put all of that onto one person, somewhere close to 16 seconds of silence in a fight. That's ridiculous. That is something that is broken. Silences need to be re-looked at in terms of PvP balance. However, how do I counter that then? We either have to play back to a point that they waste a demon helmet silence, and then they've only got 1, of which we've got 40 seconds really to kill them, or whatever cooldown is on plate helmets for demon helmets. Let's actually have a look at that, because I'm interested now. 40 odd seconds, 35 seconds, yeah. So if they don't get killed in that time, they're going to use another silence, and that's probably the fight over for almost every team. You have to run cleanses. If you run a cleanse, you can let them silence you, maybe survive 1, cleanse the second one, and that's you fine for 40 seconds. Or you just sort of use cleansing pots or whatever, but you have to look at what teams are doing at the moment, what the meta is at the moment, and how to beat it. And that's kind of it. That's what a team comp is. So people were asking if I could do the same sort of thing as I did with a build, going through and going, you need this, you need that, you need this. I can't with team comps, because there are so many different team comps. I play in very aggressive teams. That's not for everyone. I saw a team, like I said, I saw a team running healer Arcane in every single fight. They weren't even there to use the beam on people. He was just there to make a team damn tanky, and we couldn't do anything to them. We didn't have enough damage to get through them. But you have to look at what your team wants to do. Look at what your team's trying to do and play around that. That's for Hellgates. For GVGs, it's slightly different. I apologise, it's a bit of a ranty video again, as always, but I kind of have a lot to say on the matter. In terms of GVGs, you kind of have a little bit more stuff that you just kind of have to have. I think a cleanse is just necessary at the moment in terms of... in terms of... That was not enough gold. That was not enough silver, sorry. In terms of GVGs, because there's so many more chokes, there's so much more CC being thrown around, you have to be able to cleanse stuff off. You have to be able to put out your own CC, which means your team has to have some sort of CC. Tanks are pretty much required in GVGs at the moment. Druid cows are required for the long fights because it's harder to get a reset. If they gear up quickly and run back out, you're not necessarily going to be full mana, and there's nothing you can do about that. You just kind of get on with it. There's a lot you've kind of got to play differently. It tends to be longer, more difficult fights in that scenario anyway. But yeah, so like I said, people were asking if I can give them some real in-depth insight into this is the master team, and honestly I can't, because there is no such thing. There is no team that is unbeaten, and there is a reason for that, in that, and the thing is, it's not even like every one of them teams has exactly the same like idea of what they're trying to do. There is a very strong team walking around at the moment that is just running like double healers or healer arcane into every fight. They play around the Clarent being so strong, as well as the arcane beam, and they're really hard to beat, and that's nothing bad. But there's another team, like I said, that Umbral team runs with 1 healer, 1 tank and 3 DPS. They're not tanky at all, but they do a lot of damage. They play around the silences. Like, you've just got to kind of figure it out yourselves as to what you want to do, and that's my sort of overwhelming theme for this whole video. Think about your team, think about what you're trying to achieve, think about what you have and what you don't have. So just one example with that before I go. Holy healers. How many times have I been asked by a holy healer, what staff should I be running? I can't answer that for you, because in some situations, if it's just about healing throughput, always run the one hand. If your team has no tank and you're running without a peel, you pretty much have to run two hand. You just kind of think about it and go, okay, so if you're not running with a tank, you're not running with any support, you are literally just yourself as a healer, don't run one hand because you're going to die. You haven't got a way to peel people off. Run two hands so you've got that knockback. Or run Divine Shield knowing that they're going to focus you. Like, you've got to think about your situation and go, okay, I'm going to do this to try and capitalise. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Other than that, catch you later, guys. Goodbye.